Matt Warbet,
Hello there.
realtor extraordinaire.
In the flesh,
What's
virtually.
going on, baby?
How are you?
I'm good. One day at a time. We're getting through this COVID. One day at a time.
It's all we can do.
That's right. It's all we can do.
Because who knows what tomorrow brings?
Oh, well, let's just pray. Shall we pray?
Yes.
All
Pray for
right.
me.
All right. So while we're praying, let's talk about real estate.
Yeah.
How's the market there, Mister?
The market here is intense. It's intense. I'll be honest, we don't have enough homes to sell.
Yeah, isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
It's such a seller's market.
It's ridiculous. Inventory is down, depending on the area, anywhere from 30 to 40%. Fewer homes for sale than there were last year at this time.
Read the other day that we have less than 3 months inventory in Rockland County.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And that's actually not just Rockland, that's Westchester and anywhere in the Hudson Valley.
Orange County too. I mean,
Dutchess, Putnam.
Seven out of 10 of the buyers that I'm working with right now are all coming from New York City area. And they're looking in Orange County, Rockland, Westchester, Putnam County. There just doesn't seem to be a limit. As long as it's within an hour and a half of commute into Manhattan.
Well, but that's the other part of it, is that the commute into Manhattan, does not exist, or to any of the boroughs at this point for a lot of these folks, because companies are saying that, you can literally just work from home virtually.
Right.
Because obviously we proved it can be done. Business is still going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole world hasn't shut down.
Right.
Yet.
We'll see what happens.
So, all right. So back to the homeowner and somebody that wants to sell their home.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you finding when somebody has made the decision that, okay, it's time to put the house on the market? How are you seeing it going? Where are the prices coming in? What are they getting for asking? What's happening?
Great question. We're seeing a lot of multiple bidding, situation in a lot of places. If you have a house that is in decent move-in condition, right? It doesn't need to be completely updated. And honestly, even if it's not updated.
Yeah, houses are selling today that didn't sell a year ago,
Yeah, exactly. And they're selling for way more than they would have sold for a year ago. Right. There's just so many people out there that want a house right now. So the low interest rates, low inventory, the exodus of people from Manhattan, plus everybody else that, was that maybe need to make a transition, from where they were living and didn't have a choice and couldn't say, oh, the world is changing, so we're going to change our plans for now until things go back to normal. There's a lot of people that had no choice. They had to sell. They're relocating for work or for personal reasons.
Right.
So all of those people are still in the market, and they're all competing for something to buy.
Right. So it's great news for a seller.
Right. And
not so much for the buyer.
It's frustrating.
So
people are, there's a lot of emotions that get, caught up with when someone's trying to buy a house and they don't win several times.
Yeah, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
So how do you, in your expertise and genius that you possess,
yes,
how do you help your buyers through that? How do you win the day?
On the buy side?
Yeah.
On the buy side is tough. And it depends on the property that we're bidding on, but a lot of times I'm advising my clients, you have to go in with an extremely strong offer from the first bid.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
Don't mess around.
No, in this market, everybody wants to, especially, in the past, hey, all right, they're asking this much. Well, let's come in a little lower and then we'll negotiate our way up. Like, and we'll come to an agreement. Listen, if you don't come in with a strong offer and be flexible with other terms, including closing timelines, escrow deposits, appraisal contingencies,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna win.
Right.
You're not gonna win.
So, all right. I'm going to ask you some key questions that I think are important, and you tell me your take on them. Okay.
Sure.
Does the lender matter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How and what do you advise?
Okay, so I advise people to work with a local lender, no matter where you're looking.
Why?
The reason for that is listing agents working in their community will be familiar with the lending institutions within our own economy.
Right.
And they will have relationships and connections, and they'll know which lenders sometimes tend to cause problems with transactions, which one run things, differently or smoother or faster.
There's a trust factor.
Yeah, there's a trust factor, and
a track record.
People moving from an area outside, let's say coming from outside the county, will have their own local bank, and maybe it's a big bank. It could be Chase, Bank of America, whatever. And that bank is hiring appraisers that don't know the local market, that don't know how things are actually working, aren't familiar with, they don't have relationships. And it makes a big factor. So
I completely agree. I have had,
important.
now from my days in production, when you and I used to work very closely together,
mm-hmm.
to, my new role as team leader here, I have agents coming into my office every day and they're saying, they won't take my pre-approval, or I'm being passed over. Now, listen, to say that we can't force a buyer, right? To say, you must use this guy, or you have to go with this lender or whatever. We can suggest. Right. But last month we had over 100 deals go in contract in 1 month. That's very significant in general, outside of just this market.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those deals, I don't care, all 75 to 80% of those deals were done with local lenders, or they were cash.
Right.
And nothing trumps cash. Cash is king.
But, cash is king. Sometimes it's not.
Right.
I have, and recently I have had a buyer win the bidding process, and the listing agent said one of the deciding factors was because they knew the lender and they knew that the pre-approval was solid, and it gave them that trust that we get to the closing table.
That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Getting to the closing table.
Right. There's so many places that a deal can get derailed. It's not, we all know it's not so simple as, hey, I want to buy your house. Great, we'll take your offer. Let's do it. There's, a dozen places where the deal can fall apart, where things can go off the rails.
Right.
And, having the right people in place as part of that team is important
critically important
getting it done.
Right.
And yeah, listen, I tell my clients, I say, I can't, obviously, I'm going to give you my recommendations. This is my experience working in the market here. This is, why you're hiring me.
Right.
Here's my advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go from there.
I'm going to say something irreverent. I know that's shocking, right?
What? You?
I always liken it to, you get on the phone with a buyer or seller and they say, my cousin Joe told me I need to do da 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 da. What does Joe do for a living? Oh, he's a butcher. Great. Okay, so we're not slicing up a steak here. I'm not looking for the best cut. This is real estate. If you are having heart surgery, would you go to a foot doctor? No. So this is one of the largest purchases possibly of your life, or that It may be your entire life. What the heck are you talking to Cousin Joe the butcher for? Talk to your realtor. Speak to the people that are like, that do this every day, that are experts, like Matt.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, so now that we've established that neither one of us are butchers,
Right. Right now.
So you've been in the business now for 6 years, 7 years?
No, about six. That's it.
Okay. And you've been very successful in those 6 years, if I do say so myself.
Been okay, thank you.
And
We're on the right path.
And you're at Keller Williams.
I am.
Why are you at Keller Williams? And it's not because you have the best team leader in the world. Why are you at Keller Williams?
I'm here because you're amazing.
Okay, really, seriously, why are you at Keller Williams?
Why am I at Keller Williams? That's a great question. I think if I had to boil it down to something simple, the culture here is amazing. It really is. The past year has been a nightmare for everybody, this whole country. The support that I've gotten from you and from Rosemary, who is who runs the our
operating partner.
Our operating partner. It's really been remarkable. And I just say, aside from that, the culture within Keller Williams in general is just one of giving, right? So we're all in sales, all right? This is a sales position. This is a sales career, okay? But I know one of the top producers in the entire county. And I can go over and ask her questions.
Right, and she'll answer them.
And it's not like, hey, I'm going to keep all these secrets and tie everything up and not, share. Everybody wants everyone else to succeed.
Right.
Because that's how,
right.
That's how we all win.
That's right. There's enough business in this county to go around. Yes, there's a lot of competition, without a doubt.
Sure.
And I would never take anything away from, a colleague in this office or a colleague within another brokerage. There's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful to know that we come from a place where we embrace that feeling.
Right.
And that premise, and we support one another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not this, yes, listen, we are all competing. We're all running our own individual real estate businesses
within the KW umbrella. Right.
Umbrella, but it's not this cutthroat environment where everyone's coming from a sense of scarcity.
Right. That's very important.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. Mindset in general is very, very important. And when you come from a place of abundance and gratitude and joy, I don't want to get too cheesy here. We're supposed to be talking business, right? But when you come from that place, those are people that you gravitate towards, that you want to be around, because if you feel good, you're going to do good things in the world. So if you're walking into your office and you know that you're going to be really smart, successful, cool people that you can bounce ideas off, and we call it masterminding. So let's do mastermind together. Some of the most. You and I were in a meeting today for our ALC. In that meeting, we went through, ALC is our Agent Leadership Council, for those of you that don't speak KWisms. And in that meeting, we went through the production of the members of the Agent Leadership Council, and we collaborated together. And we talked about how you guys can increase your individual businesses. And there was no secrecy, and there was no, jealousy. It was all supportive, really great stuff that at the end of the day, I think everyone benefits from. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. Everybody, like I said, everybody wants to share. And, I think that's one of the things that pulls people to Keller Williams. Keller Williams is not for everybody.
Right.
you know,
Not
and
everybody drinks the Kool-Aid.
right. Even though it can be delicious at times.
Could be vodka in the Kool-Aid, but that's okay.
or whiskey. Can you put whiskey in
Whiskey.
Kool-Aid?
Yesterday there was
No.
whiskey.
Yeah. You know, like, so like today, I actually was in contact with somebody who wants to sell a very expensive property in an area that honestly I'm not as familiar with.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair.
And what I did is I reached out to another agent that's in our office who I know is an expert in that community.
Right.
And I said, hey, I've got something. Would you like to partner with me so that we can help this person?
Right.
And he was like, absolutely. Let's do,
there you go.
Of course. Let's,
right.
So
here's the deal. What you did today, in coming from culture, as we call it here, that's like, another Kellerism. Did you come from culture? Is you changed people's lives today. You made a decision to benefit your seller that isn't as profitable for you as had you kept it all to yourself.
Right.
And you made a decision to positively benefit another agent in this office so that he can spread the word, right?
Yeah, and there's benefits to everybody.
Right. So it's a win-win. That's one of the tenets of the company.
Right.
It's a win-win.
Right. And yeah, at the end of the day, okay, so it'll affect my income, but whatever.
Yeah, positively though, right? Because in the short term, okay, so you're only going to get half the commission on this sale.
Yeah.
However, you got a happy client.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You did a really, really good thing for another agent in bringing him business. So he thinks well of you, and he will do this, and you will get repeat business out of this, both of you.
Right.
Money is good for the good it can do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I didn't make this up, but it sounds good, so I'll repeat it. So it's a beautiful thing. So I applaud you for your collaborative spirit, Matthew.
Yeah, listen, that's the way I roll.
Very good. All right, we have to stop talking now because I know you have big goals and you're gonna get on the phone.
I do. I still got people. I got loose ends to tie up today.
Loose ends to tie up. All right, very good. Thank you once again, Matthew, for sharing your genius.
Anytime.
And,
pleasure.
Keep going, baby.
All right. Thanks.
Got
Liz.
it. Bye.
Bye.